So now we have our contacts. In theory, at this point, we also have our occlusion adjusted. And now all that's left to do is adapt it to the preps. So then in the adapt tab, you'll see that on mockups, you do have the adapt option, but it's classified as a hard cut. So it's just a different way that the software does the adaptation. And you'll see that when I click on it, it's going to give a bit more of a description. So we'll press OK and tell the software yes. And then the software is going to begin its calculation. And once it's done, you'll see it adapts it perfectly, not necessarily perfectly to the scan data, but again, it adapts it to this virtual wax up bottom scan. And the one thing to keep in mind with this method is you can actually freeform this. So you can adjust the fit and some of these sharp edges if you want. But again, this is going to affect the fit. So right now it's smooth, and now this is going to be high and going to prevent the crown from seating. So be aware of where you're smoothing to not create an area that's going to be an issue. What you may want to do is just come to the edges here that's created and just smooth those away. But some areas that you know are directly on the margin, you might want to leave those more or less as is. But anyways, you have basically, long story short, you have the ability to smooth this as you want. But yeah, just be aware of where you're smoothing and be careful not to adjust it in a way that it's going to affect the fit. Again, if you feel like you've shortened an area too much, you can always come back in here and lengthen it again. And just make sure that after you do some recontouring of an area or some adjusting, just make sure you come back here and adapt. So then it's not going to affect the fit.